Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Fundamentals of Imaging. Today in this video I will describe about the pneumothorax. Let's begin with the definition of pneumothorax. So what is pneumothorax? Pneumothorax is the accumulation of air within the pleural space which is found by the parietal and visceral pleura. So as seen in this image we can see that the air within the pleural space in between the parietal and visceral pleura causing the separation of these two pleura and collapse of the lung. So this is the representative image, and we can see in this image this thin line is the visceral pleura and this dotted line is the visceral pleura outlining the lung. So we can see in this X-ray image this is the visceral pleura outlining the lung and parietal pleura is not visualized in X-ray. So there is a lucent area noted in the periphery of this hemithorax. This is the pneumothorax. Now the positioning for X-ray in emergency or radiology department or ICU for the diagnosis of the pneumothorax. There are four views which can be taken to diagnose the pneumothorax by X-ray. So first one is the standard view is the erect PA view. Second is the semi-erect or supine position, lateral decubitus view or expiratory and expiratory view. So what we see in erect position, we see that the air goes in non-dependent part, and this shows the collapsed lung as we see in this image. Now next is the semi-erect position in which air accumulates anteriorly and basally, so lead to the deep and lucent CP angle. This is due to the semi-erect position of the patient. So this is the pneumothorax with collapsed lung, and this is the deep CP angle. Now lateral decubitus view where patient lies in the lateral position with the affected part superiorly or non-dependent position. As we can see in this image, there is a stab injury in the chest wall leading to the pneumothorax formation. So it is diagnosed by the lateral decubitus film. This is the visceral pleura outlining the lung, and this is the air accumulated, and there is no any bronchovascular marking. So this is the pneumothorax. Now the inspiratory film showing the normal lung. This shows that the lung appears normal, and when expiratory film is done, there is a accumulation of air within the pleural space with the collapse of the right lung visualized. So this is the importance of expiratory film. Now the primary indicators of the pneumothorax. So there are two indicators which are important for the diagnosis of pneumothorax. First is the visceral pleural line, which is denoted by this red line, and another is the absence of bronchovascular marking. So lung shows the bronchovascular marking, that is the vessel and the bronchus within the lung parenchyma, whereas the in pneumothorax there is no any bronchovascular marking because the air is accumulated within the pleural space. So this is the primary indicator of pneumothorax. Now other indicators include the deep Selkirk sign, which is the deep and lucent CP angle, which is mostly seen in the semi-erect or supine position. Now another one is the mediastinal shift due to the accumulation within the uh, pleural space. So if it is a large amount of air accumulated within the pleural space causes the mediastinal shift as a mass effect, and the flattening of the diaphragm due to the mass effect it is seen, and lung collapse. So these are the signs of pneumothorax. Another, depending on the etiology, types are the primary spontaneous type, secondary spontaneous type, iatrogenic or traumatic, and unusual type. In primary spontaneous type, there is no pathological cause, whereas in secondary type, there is any underlying disease like the COPD, emphysema, bulla, or any cause. And iatrogenic traumatic, there is post-surgery or trauma. And unusual type is the loculated or interlobar or interfissural pneumothorax. Now, depending on mechanism, pneumothorax is closed type, open type, or tension pneumothorax. So, tension pneumothorax is a emergency condition, whereas closed or open pneumothorax can be, depending on the size, it can be managed by the conservative or surgical management. What happens in closed type? There is no any opening in the chest wall, so air from the lung enter into the pleural space and accumulated within the pleural space and causing the lung collapse. And in open type, there is an opening in the chest wall from where air enter and exit from that opening and causing the collapse of the lung with air within the pleural space. And in tensor pneumothorax, air only enters into the pleural space, but it cannot goes out. So this will cause the mass effect as the mediastinal shift or mediastinal compression leading to the cardiovascular collapse. So this is the emergency condition required immediate management. Now we can see in this CT, HRCT image, there is a small bulla which ruptures and causing the pneumothorax. This is the open type of pneumothorax in which we can see the extensive subcutaneous emphysema with pneumothorax. And this is the axial and coronal image HRCT showing the pneumothorax with depressed diaphragm. So this is the tensor pneumothorax. In chest X-ray, we can see that this is the closed type where air within the pleural space with collapsed lung. This is the open type where we can see the subcutaneous emphysema with pneumothorax. And this is the tensor pneumothorax where mediastinal shift can be seen and depressed diaphragm. This is the emergency condition. Now another condition is the hydropneumothorax. If both air and fluid present within the pleural space called hydropneumothorax. This thin line is the visceral pleura indicating that this is the collapsed lung, and this area is the pneumothorax or air, and this straight line denotes the air and the fluid interface. So fluid appears radio opaque in X-ray. So and fluid always lie in the dependent part. So this is the hydropneumothorax. As we can show in this image, fluid is in dependent part and air is in non-dependent part and causing the lung collapse. So this is about the hydropneumothorax. Now occult pneumothorax. Occult pneumothorax is the term referred to pneumothorax missed on the initial imaging. So if a pneumothorax is missed in initial imaging, then it is called occult, and it is usually very small pneumothorax and loculated type. So it is mostly in the supine or semi-erect AP view chest X-ray taken in ICU or emergency. So in this chest X-ray, we cannot see a major pathological condition, but when it is a sharp image is given, there is a lucent thin area noted outlining the right hemidiaphragm. So after comparing this, there is a pneumothorax. Now the size measurement. The importance of size measurement is the planning of management. If size is small, then conservative management is done, and if size is large, then surgical management is required. So there are various methods to calculate the size and percentage of pneumothorax. First one is the American College of Chest Radiograph has given apex cupola distance. That is, this is denoted by this A. That is the thoracic. This is the cupula, and this is the collapsed lung. So in distance between this is measured, and this, if this is less than 3 centimeter, it is small, and if it is more than 3, then large. And according to British Thoracic Society guidelines, a measurement done from the chest wall to the edge of the collapsed lung, that is the interpleural distance, that is the parietal to visceral pleura at the level of hilum. So if it is less than 2 centimeter, then small, and if it is more than 2 centimeter, then it is large. And light index is used to calculate the percentage of pneumothorax, which is given as the formula given here. And DL is the distance of the collapsed lung, that is diameter of the collapsed lung, given by this purple line, and the DH is the diameter of the hemithorax. So this two value is taken and incorporated in this equation, and percentage is calculated. If it is less than 25% is small, and if it is larger, more than 25%, then large. Another one is the Collins method. In Collins method, three measurement value is taken, that is the A distance from the apex to the collapsed lung, that this is the A, and then hemithorax is divided into the upper half and lower half, and B value is taken at the upper half's midpoint, and C value is the lower half's midpoint. So these three values taken and added, and percentage is calculated. If it less than 25%, then it's small, and if it is more than 25%, then large. Now this is the summary. American College of Chest Physician have given the apex crepuscular distance, which is denoted by the blue line, and if it is less than 3 centimeter, then it's small, and more than 3 centimeter large. According to British Thoracic Society, interpleural distance at hilar level, and if it is less than 2 centimeter small, and if it is more than 2 centimeter large, and according to Light's criteria, that is the distance of the or diameter of the collapsed lung and diameter of the hemithorax, uh, and if it is less than 25% is small and more than 25% is large. Now the pitfalls of the pneumothorax, that is the skin fold, pulmonary bulla, giant bullous emphysema, benign post-traumatic pseudo-pneumoperitoneum, calcified pleural plaque, pneumomediastinum, and hyperlucent hemithorax. These are the some conditions which need to be differentiated from the pneumothorax. Now first one is that we can see that there is a line noted in the lower half of the right hemithorax. So this denotes the skin fold because we can see that the bronchovascular markings beyond this line. So this is the skin fold, and for confirmation lateral view can be taken. Now another is that there is a lucent area noted in the upper half of the right hemithorax. So this is the pulmonary bulla, and there is a large radiolucent area noted in the left upper hemithorax. So this is the giant bullous emphysema. So these are the conditions. Now others are the left mastectomy, that is the lucent left hemithorax due to the mastectomy, and other condition is the congenital absent pectoralis muscle, that called the Poland syndrome. And another is the we can see that this pink line denotes the calcified pleura. So sometimes it can also mimic as the pneumothorax. So these are the conditions which needs to be differentiated from the pneumothorax. Now there are some special conditions for pneumothorax. One is the capnothorax, and another is the pneumothorax ex vacuo. So capnothorax denotes the air present within the pleural space, that is due to the laparoscopic surgeries. So it is the carbon dioxide present within the pleural space and causing the collapse of lung. So this is called the capnothorax, and pneumothorax ex vacuo is the acute bronchial obstruction due to any cause like carcinoma, mucus plug, foreign body, or malpositioning of VT tube, causing the collapse of the lung and air within the surrounding. This is called the pneumothorax ex vacuo. And in this condition, nitrogen gas is mostly seen as the pneumothorax. Now the USG test. So USG has a crucial role in the diagnosis of pneumothorax, mostly in the ultrasound bedside USG, um, in emergency and ICU and the pediatric patient. So this is a bedside procedure, and mostly high frequency probe is used, and it is a it causes the rapid diagnosis, more sensitive than the X-ray, and real time monitoring can be done. So the size of the pneumothorax can be assessed, that is it is progressive or it is resolving. So that can be evaluated by real time monitoring. Now, key sonographic signs are the absent lung sliding sign, barcode sign. So, what is the absent lung sliding sign? Normally, the visceral and parietal pleura slide against each other during the respiration, but due to the pneumothorax, they get separated, and this sign sliding is lost. So, this is called the absent lung sliding sign. Barcode sign or stratosphere sign. In M mode of the ultrasound, we can see that the normal lung shows the seesaw sign, that is the granular pattern below the pleural line, whereas this is lost due to the separation of the pleura, and there is a uniform horizontal line seen like a barcode. So this is called the barcode sign. Now another is the absent B line. Normally there are some vertical cometal artifact that arise from the pleural line, and if they are absent, then call the absent B line. And another one is the long point sign, that is the junction of long sliding and the absent sliding. So junction of the normal lung and the pneumothorax, this is the transition point. So this is called the long point sign. Normally, the pleural line are seen as the equidistant echogenic lines. These are called the A lines. These are seen in normal chest ultrasound. And this is the comet-tail artifact seen is the B lines. So these are normally seen, but in case of the uh, pneumothorax, these lines are lost, and this also granularity is also lost, or seesaw sign is lost. Now this is the seesaw sign, and this one is the barcode sign. We can see as the horizontal lines. This is the sliding lung. This is the normal lung and absent sliding due to the air within the pleural space. So this is called the and this is the long point, that is the transition point between the pneumothorax and normal lung. So this is the pneumothorax, as we can see in this video. If you like my video, then like, share and subscribe.